Not to say there is not so-called, not really, but claim to be, alternative sources that put out fake news. They do. And I'm going to be giving you in my opinion, a shocking example and classic example of that in a minute. But that's not what this fake news hoax, this fake news tirade is all about. It is to justify the suppression of information from the genuine alternative media, and like I say, not all of it is, so that we have one source, we go back to one source of information from which people get their opinions and views and perceptions, and that's the mainstream media, the mainstream corporate media that's connected to all the other areas of the system, politics, big pharma, big biotech, etc., which constitute what I call the mainstream everything. And perception is the key. We are being subjected to, and have been through almost all known human history, certainly modern history, to a perception deception. It's the name of one of my books. And when you are seeking to program the perceptions of your target population, then you need to control the information that they receive, because everything comes from perception. What we think, what we do, what we support, what we won't support, what we oppose, all comes from our perceptions of life, the world, and particular events, particular people. And when you are trying to program the perceptions of your target human race, then of course, to do that most effectively, you need to make sure they only have one basic source of information, one basic way of looking at the world, of looking at events like Syria. Because from information comes perception. The last thing you want is for people to present other ways of looking at the same things from different angles with different information, making it look different to what the mainstream is portraying. This is true of reporting of world events and their significance and their context. It is true of things like vaccines, GMO. You need to get rid of that source of information which is challenging your narrative. Now, what's happened, and I was there when it all began. There weren't many of us around at the time, but a movement began, made up of individuals, not organized, to put out information and to do research that challenged the mainstream narrative. And this has gathered and gathered and gathered in effectiveness to the point now where we are having vast numbers of people getting their information from non-mainstream sources, and the corporate media losing audiences and viewers on a catastrophic scale, catastrophic for the mainstream media, that is. And there is also, not least as a result of alternative sources of information, a growing rejection of the established order, the established tyranny, the elected dictatorships. And so, in a massive and in many ways panic-stricken response, the war on alternative sources of information has now gone into top gear. Everywhere you look, fake news, fake news. And of course, what's it's being hung on is that it was fake news that got Donald Trump elected. What got him elected was the perception, wrong, I would suggest, but the perception that he was outside of the system, that he was outside the political class and establishment. That's what got him elected. And to hear Hillary Clinton this week saying that fake news is a danger to people. This is the queen of fake news, exposed in WikiLeaks emails released as the Clinton campaign was in cohorts with mainstream media corporate outlets to manipulate information to the benefit of Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton lost that election because she has a history of pure evil and breathtaking mendacity and corruption, and people rejected it. in very large numbers. Nothing to do with fake news. What in the end did for her was the truth coming out, ironically. So we have this focus now on what is called fake news, and this is what happens. I'm not saying for a minute there isn't fake news in what people call the alternative, but like I say, if it's fake news, it's not alternative. It's just another version of the mainstream techniques of a manipulation. But the idea is to use that and use this all-encompassing term of fake news to target the genuine alternative media, which does professional research and professionally make sure in every way it can that its facts are right before it goes public with. That's nothing like, whew, are you kidding? That's nothing like the totality of the alternative media. But that's the part of it that they're targeting, because that's the one that's dangerous to them. And of course, mainstream media loves all this. Of course it's going to jump on this coordinated, blatantly so, attack on the alternative media under this fake news banner, because it wants to protect itself. It wants to protect itself from the rejection of people, and thus it supports it. And what you get is, as long as you are going along and you're not a danger to this global agenda that I've been exposing all these years, then you're basically left alone. When there was an alternative media that wasn't actually that influential because it was in its early days, just left alone, really. No problem. Once it becomes a problem, then they turn on it, which is what's happening now. In the same way, as long as you are in vast, overwhelming numbers accepting vaccinations and your children being vaccinated, well, okay. Oh, no, it's not compulsory. No, it's a choice. As long as everyone does it, that's fine. Now, people in ever greater numbers are rejecting that by doing research into actually what the consequences are. Now we're seeing coming in these laws to make vaccination compulsory in parts of the world, and it's planned to be universal in the end. And you know, I've got a little bit of, well, what would you call it? Information, advice? I don't know. Maybe you could call it seeing things for what they are in terms of the mainstream media. So, mainstream, this is why your audiences are collapsing and your credibility has never been lower. People in ever greater numbers are sick and tired of your lies, your bias, your systematic manipulation of so-called news and information, and the fact that they are realizing ever more clearly that you are just an arm of the very establishment you should, if you were real journalists, be holding to account. That's why what's happening to you is happening, not because of any fake news, but because of your fake news, decade after decade after decade. I mean, this is a report this week in a mainstream newspaper about the fact that the terrorists, because that's what they are, United States, British, backed, armed, trained, supported terrorists in Aleppo in Syria. This is the report on how they have been virtually now removed from Aleppo after the extraordinarily grotesque treatment of people, civilians, children, under their control in parts of that city. Instead of celebrating the fact that these people have been freed now in great numbers from that tyranny, from that horror, this is what you get. With Syrian city falling to Assad and Putin, the executions of women and children begin a meltdown of humanity. Evidence? Bugger all! There's no one on the ground there in terms of correspondence. They're getting their information from, if you call it that, from sources that are absolutely not to be trusted. I mean, it quotes here the White Helmets. The White Helmets, who are an organization supposedly created to help people in a humanitarian way, who are funded by all the players who have funded, armed and trained these terrorists, including ISIS. United States, Britain, EU, etc. Oh yeah, that's an unbiased source. And they also quote over and over again in terms of Syria, the mainstream media, an organization called the Syria Observatory for Human Rights. Oh, that sounds grand. Oh, bet they've got a big building. They must be in Syria. They must. You're going to quote them at what's happening in Syria in such detail with unquestioned, questioning their accuracy. Do you know what the Syria Observatory for Human Rights is? One man. But at least he lives in Syria. No, he doesn't. He lives in Coventry, in England. Oh, the Syria Observatory for Human Rights said this is terrible what Assad's doing. The man in Coventry hates Assad, and the mainstream media talk about fake news. Do they have mirrors in these buildings? I guess they must not. Within 24 hours, an estimated 10,000 people had fled the horror, but last night there were at least 50,000 still trapped. We're seeing in other mainstream sources things like 100,000 people are still under siege from Assad and the Russians. Evidence, zilch. And you know, there are so many ironies in this. I'll give you another one. When the mainstream media has played its part, which is the idea of destroying the alternative, then do you think this hidden hand that wants rid of the alternative media, for reasons I've discussed, is going to allow any part of the mainstream media to tell the truth about anything? Have you seen how the mainstream media even has been targeted more and more around the world in terms of suppression of what it can say?